Welcome to the Mindset Connection podcast, where we showcase everyday people doing extraordinary things in the field of mental health and wellness. We are your hosts, Jennifer Clearwaters and Cindy O'Connell, and thank you for tuning in for our 25th episode. So we are going to jump right in today because today we have a sound healer. Shannon Hawley is here on the podcast, so welcome, Shannon.
Thank you so much.
And I'm going to give you a little bit of background about Shannon. Shannon Hawley is a singer-songwriter, sound therapist, breathwork facilitator, Kundalini Yoga teacher, Reiki Master, and a mother of 2 children. She also holds a master's degree in social work from NYU, specializing in trauma-informed clinical social work. Her work involves holding a safe space for individuals and groups to slow down, listen deeply, and experience non-ordinary states of consciousness for self-discovery, self-love, and self-healing. That sounds like a lot.
It is a lot.
Shannon's work with sound healing and meditative tools help to build and expand the central nervous system resilience, self-awareness, self-care, and a sense of authenticity. Shannon helps her clients remember who they are and cultivate their passion for life. And we can't wait to hear all about how that all works. So we're going to jump right in.
I hope
Cindy's
that's
gonna
all
start.
true.
Yeah, thank you.
You mean you made parts of it up?
No. I hope the clients are getting that from,
They will.
Well, that's your intention.
Yes,
and
that's your intention.
just from
that's my
meeting you
passion.
in the past 15 minutes and having a conversation, I think you get the message across. My personal opinion. Anyway, so welcome. And so we're going to jump right in with, I want to talk about the master's degree in social work.
Okay.
So you started with that.
Yes, I did.
And then you became a sound healer.
Yes.
So what led you to that?
How did that happen?
And what are the benefits of sound healing? And what's the training that you need?
Yeah.
See, I don't even care about the training to be a master's in social work.
You know about that.
We want to know about that. We want to know about sound healing.
Yeah.
And how'd you get from one to the other?
Yeah.
Well, social work, what I did was I had a lot of different roles in social work. So from working in a traditional roles, working in a domestic violence shelter, to working in an alternative school, also as a hospice clinical social worker. And all of those roles were wonderful, and I was passionate about them and being of service. However, in my body, I would get really burnt out.
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah, which happens.
Those are
and then
hard
we learn how to
placements.
self-care and all of the things. But after working in a school in Vermont for 7 years, and then my family and I moved to Los Angeles, California, I noticed a heightened sensitivity to sound and how it affected my nervous system. And so I actually was at a conference for women musicians, and who I was drawn to the most at that conference were the breath workers and people that were working with sound as a healing tool. And so I was like, this is fascinating. And I got a little coupon to go to a sound bath that happened to be in my neighborhood. This is literally how it happened. And I made it to that sound bath, and I had never experienced that sense of calm in my body. I had never realized that my sensitivity to sound could also be a superpower. Like, I felt calmer because I was able to receive the intentions of the calming sounds that were happening in the sound bath. And it just helped me started to connect the dots of how I felt that way in nature. And I felt calm in my body in nature. And I said, I want more of this.
Yeah.
It was a way in for me into really experiencing instead of talking about that feeling of calm.
I'm just going to say that even as you started to talk about it, I could sense your entire body just.
It's like an imprint on my body.
There's no question.
Yeah.
Because at first, we were talking beforehand. You're like, before this starts, I always get a little bit, what am I doing? And then as soon as you started to talk about sound healing, your voice changed, the tempo changed, and your whole body just relaxed.
Yes.
And it makes sense that you're remembering like a move from Vermont. Yeah. Just so calm and peaceful too. You said the heart of LA.
Yes.
Of course there's going to be heightened noise and you're going to feel it.
Yeah, I felt it. And so then, but that gave me the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
To walk and stumble into this. So I was immediately from that moment on, I was like, I want to know more. I want to know everything. How does this work? And that woman who did that sound bath became my mentor. I took the training from her, 100-hour training. She called it soundology. She was a musician and a Kundalini teacher because she was really bringing her uniqueness to it. But there's so many teachers that she had learned from that approach sound in different ways. And she taught all of us all of those things. So it was about 100-hour training over 6 months. But then I ended up working with her and having sound baths in Los Angeles and facilitating those and becoming more and more confident in the ways that we can use sound as a tool for having other people experience that meditative state, that calm that I was feeling in my body, to really feel into their own energy and make decisions from that instead of a place of reactivity. So we know all about this, right? It's activating that parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest, that it is wonderful to talk about, but when we have the tools to really feel into it, that's the difference. That's the magic.
Now, you are a songwriter and a singer and stuff. So what about someone who says, well, I'm not musical. I don't play an instrument. I don't know anything about music.
Totally.
Like this probably isn't for me. How do you connect with people? Because I think musical people and people who already understand how sound works, they're already clicked in.
Totally.
But somebody else that might not even know what this is and think like, well, I don't really know much about music. Like, how do I know that this could help me?
Right. Well, I think one thing is all sound is vibration. And everything vibrates, whether we hear it or not. Everything is vibrating at its own frequency. So all sound is vibration. Vibration is energy in motion. Everything is energy. And so someone that says, I don't know, or is a little, how can I access it?
Be there.
Hesitant. Thinking about your relationship to sound, your origin story of sound. What sounds make you feel calm? Do you notice that? What music do you love? I haven't met that many people that don't love music or don't like any type of music. Because there are studies that, basically it's a really small study, but they played different music to say maybe Mozart or this white noise or this will help someone feel calmer. And the music or the sound that actually helped them feel calmer or reduced pain reduction was the sounds and songs they preferred.
Right. So whatever it is that you like.
It's whatever you're drawn to is for a reason. It's to calm your nervous system. It's to feel connected. It's to move emotions, right? We listen to music to exercise. We listen to different music to feel or to cry or to connect to that part inside of to move that emotion. So I would start there. And then we always have a relationship to our voice, to the way we speak in the world, to speaking our truth, to noticing when our voice is nervous and shaky, to when we're actually feeling more authentic and strong in our voice. And so that's another way in. So 2 ways. So like, what music do you like to listen to? All sound is vibration. What sounds do you notice you feel calm around? And or what's your relationship to your voice? I feel like those are ways to
draw people in.
Yeah. To notice that sound is a great way.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about like your energy work practices. So, maybe explain to people like what is Reiki and what is Kundalini Yoga? Like people maybe not know what that is and how is that all beneficial in what you're doing?
Yeah. And like I said, it's all energy work because everything is energy.
How is it all incorporated into a sound bath or a sound session?
So sound is one way to work with vibration. So you're using intention plus frequency to work with vibration. Kundalini, why I was drawn to Kundalini Yoga is because it incorporates and includes breathing techniques. So the rhythm of your own breathing and that it's an autonomic system, but we can sort of manipulate our breathing into activating our vagus nerve to feel calmer. And we can sort of learn tools to, maybe we need to feel more awake, alive, alert. We can use breathing techniques for that. Maybe we need to feel calmer. We can use breathing techniques for that. So Kundalini Yoga brings that in. Sometimes it's called the yoga of awareness. And I really use it as a tool to figure out my nervous system. Where am I at today? and what do I need to come to more of a balanced state, right?
So can you give us a little example? I mean, I've taken a class before, but I'm sure most people have no idea what Kundalini Yoga is.
Right, I know.
So maybe the breathing or something.
So an example might be in Kundalini Yoga, one of the breathing techniques we use is breath of fire. And that's a really detoxifying breath. So you don't need to be doing Kundalini Yoga, breath of fire, if you are in a state where you're wanting to calm down and so it's more for if you're wanting to have a reset, detoxify, sort of bypass that executive functioning, that overthinking, if that's what's happening. And so it kind of gets you back into your body and detoxifies in that way. And it is an active breathing technique. It is pumping the navel. It is noticing the equal ins and inhale and exhale. So noticing that different breathing techniques do different things in your body. Yeah.
Can you do it for us?
Sure. You want me to do breath of fire? Yeah. So one, there's mudras in Kundalini Yoga as well. So that's having certain hand positions. So one technique of breath of fire is pumping the navel, is inhaling and exhaling. But when you're exhaling, you're pulling the navel in, almost like you're activating a sit-up kind of feeling. So it's activating. It's saying like, wake up, alive, reset, get out of that overthinking mind. And it's equal inhale and exhale. And it's... Now, it might not be that fast for you. The pace does not matter. So you might start at a pace that's... If that navel is pumping, you are doing the work. You are heating up. You are working on that solar plexus.
Creating heat in the body.
Yeah.
And how many of those would you do?
Well, you could, it depends. Yeah. But 1 to 3 minutes. So 3 minutes, you're like, whoa, you're there. You're awake. But you build up to that. And then like a different breathing technique might be alternate nostril breathing. That's for something very specific. That's for balancing the hemispheres of the brain. That's for finding balance in the body. Maybe it's like you're all over the place here, but you're also somehow feeling like too sluggish. That's a great one, alternate nostril breathing. So you start to learn in Kundalini Yoga what breathing technique you might need on a certain day, and you learn by knowing what you're feeling in your body. So at first it's about being aware.
You're tapping into self-awareness.
Self-awareness. Yeah. All about self-awareness.
And that makes it less scary when you think Kundalini Yoga. I don't know what that is. Right. What is that? And you're like, oh, breaking it down. It's just a breathwork technique that can help you.
Totally.
Yes.
So you're taking away this scary thing that may make people say, well, I'm not really qualified to take this class.
Right. No, if you're you're qualified.
If you can breathe, you can do it.
Right. It's about trying to pay attention to what is going on with you. Same thing with the movements. We do certain movements in Kundalini body and Kundalini Yoga, and it's using the body. It's movement meditation. So I think it's similar to Qigong and Tai Chi.
Flowing.
And it's taking your own energy and moving it through. And I love that because being still can be really, really challenging and difficult. This is why I love sound too, right? Yes. It's about allowing the energy to move while you're experiencing that meditative state. And that really can be helpful.
Yeah.
Can
because
really
some
helpful.
people, as a meditation teacher, I know that, some people, I never say to people, well, you have to sit still. You have to sit with your legs crossed. You have to do this. You have to do that. No, you have to figure out what is going to work for you so that you will practice every day.
Yes.
Because that's the thing. They won't do it out of the class, off the mat, out of the sound bath, unless they feel like this is something that I believe in this.
Absolutely. And so when you talk about sound healing benefits, going back to that, I never answered that question. Stress reduction, it's for you.
For you.
It's pain relief. It's learning about the breath. It's taking time to pause and deeply listen. So sound is a way into the body in a way that's, if you can't sit still or you feel like you can't reach that meditative state, or maybe you're judging or your brain is really working, sound works on you. And so you're trying to think, and sound is coming into one ear and the other ear, and these different frequencies are coming in. And so through binaural beats, for example, your brain is like, oh, I have to work on and create a new frequency, and it's actually slowing and lowering the brain waves, right? So we're listening that way. that's deep listening. So you're trying to think, and the sound is saying like, we're working on you. And then also the other way is it's coming in through skin and bone conduction. So it's not just we're listening with our ears, the vibrations we're talking about.
Right.
Every cell in our body has cilia, right? Those little fibers. And so our body is constantly trying to resonate and vibrate and be in harmony with what we come into contact with. So when you have someone playing intentional sounds to help you calm down and feel a relaxed state, you can access that meditative state. And that's what gets you realizing this too. I can experience this too. I have access to this as well.
And that's the ticket. I have access to this, because people think, and quite a few people think that this is the only way that I can operate. Nope. You can create a new neural pathway.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So,
and you can do it on your own, and you don't need to necessarily have to have Shannon to do it.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
That's
learn the breathing technique.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Absolutely.
So that they don't
You
need
can
you.
listen to the music you want. You can use your voice.
Mm-hmm.
You can use the sacred sigh or the hum. I talk about that in every sound bath, because we all do these things intuitively and naturally, right? Whenever we do an audible sigh, we are releasing tension from the body. We are activating the vagus nerve, which activates that parasympathetic nervous system, which allows our body to come to more of a rest and digest. Same thing with a hum. So sometimes it's hard to take a deep breath. So if you can inhale into your body, and then close the lips and access a and you're sending your own unique voice and vibrations down and in, and you're singing only for yourself, no one else. That is magic. That is beautiful. That's what I'm here for.
That's what it's such a good calming technique to teach people that you can do this to calm yourself down, rather than the right.
Yeah,
that
right.
sigh.
See, they never
Which is what
quite
people are
kind
doing
of get the sigh
all day long. They're already doing that.
It's not.
That
it's not really the way you just did the sigh.
Right.
So this is interesting.
It's an intentional sigh. Good. Thank you.
Yes. So this is interesting. So the hum. So when I'm walking my dog early morning, it's still kind of dark, and I'll do one of those hums, and the dog stops and turns around and looks at me. You know, you would think that he can feel it, and he just stops. Like it's like a dead stop. Okay, which tells you how critical that vibration is. Slow down.
Yeah. Yep. Slow down.
And I think if people can learn just that, as opposed to going through the day with that, like irritation and high stress, it would really help a lot of people just to take a minute to just do a hum or do a real sigh.
An intentional sigh.
Intentional.
Yeah. Yeah. Sighing is hard too, because if you do a sigh and you're with someone, there's judgment involved and there's all of the things. But like if you
depends on who you are.
Right, totally. But if you're doing an intentional sigh to really like release.
And you know what's funny? I would say to tell your clients, you know what? The next time you want to do an intentional sigh, hey Jen, I'm going to do an intentional sigh.
Let's hear
Would
it.
you like to do one with me?
Yes. Yes. Can we do a collective one?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll do that. We're going to breathe together.
Yeah.
So, so what would a typical sound bath, and how long do they run?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Yeah. I mean, sound baths can be all different kinds of experience. But I do an hour sound bath. I think an hour is a great amount of time. I know I'm talking to, you would agree. And, you know, I believe in community care. What a beautiful thing to have people come together and gather to rest, to just be. That is beautiful. That is the world I want to live in, you know?
Exactly.
And so, so my sound baths are an hour. I do them, group sound baths, 2 times a month, but it would be, you would come in, you would lay down like you're in Shavasana at the end of yoga, but your day was the yoga and you can just lay down and rest. Your only job is to try to get as comfortable as possible.
Isn't that nice? You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk to anybody.
No. If you're uncomfortable, you do like little
You
micro
do
shifts to make yourself more comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's it. And also to practice a little bit of non-judgment if thoughts do come up. We're not here to erase all thoughts. That's impossible.
Right.
We are thinking, our minds want to think, they want to process. So it's laying down, and then intentional sounds are played around you, possibly in my sound baths above you. I always let people know what to expect. Different sounds, but intentionally to have you just experience a meditative state and deep relaxation.
So what are you using? Are you using the bowls?
Yes.
Okay.
So we use different tools, right? So I use the quartz crystal bowls. Quartz has been used in healing, ancient healing technologies for a long, long time. It's similar to the crystalline nature of the liquids in our bodies. And so that's why we think it resonates so well with our cells and why it makes us feel so calm. So those crystal bowls, sometimes they have an intentional frequency for a chakra. And so I'm using those and playing those with intention. And I love the sound of the gong, also used in a lot of ancient practices for resonating and allowing space and coming into the body. You can feel the vibration of the gong. I also use chimes, bells, all of these sounds, these intentional sounds, and the intentionally made instruments to allow for space, new neural pathways to connect, sometimes to bring your attention, sometimes to just allow space to have those different binaural beats, those different frequencies coming into each ear. And so I also sometimes use a drum. Yeah. So
I just want to explain so that people are like, oh.
Well, they've never heard, they don't know what a sound bath is.
I've heard these sound baths, people talk about them. And I mean, if they go to your sound bath, which you do that in Point Pleasant.
Yeah, at Embodied Physical Therapy, the magical place.
On Monday nights, you said?
Yeah, it's the first and last Mondays of the month.
Okay.
So 6:30, yeah.
At 6:30, okay. Yeah, because I feel like then when you explain it to people, because I've talked to many people, they're afraid to go to a yoga class because, what's going to happen? Is everybody going to look at me? No.
Or afraid to go to the sound bath where I tell people you don't even have to talk to anyone.
Yeah, you literally do not have to talk to anyone.
So lay down. Yep, you don't have to do anything.
What a feeling, just to be.
But they're not sure what it's going to look like with what kind of sounds, what are you playing?
Right.
So it demystifies the whole process.
So thank you. That was a great explanation.
Yeah.
And since you have them here, can you explain what your musical instruments are that you brought today?
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay, so my family makes fun of me because I have these with me all the time.
Me too.
I mean, listen, we are the instrument and we're vibrating, but these remind me of that. I love tuning forks. So there's weighted tuning forks that you can place on the body in certain spots. And basically what the weighted tuning forks do, and you place them on I'm touching my third eye, so you can place them in different sensitive areas. But you're gonna feel through skin and bone conduction the vibration
like a massage
of the musical note, but it feels a little like a massage, very gentle. But that's what you're doing when you hum. And that's what your body is constantly picking up, even though it's not touching, the vibrations aren't touching our bodies. So it's like a great reminder. And it feels, and it's superficial, so it doesn't go all through the body, although you might be able to, if you're sensitive, you might feel it in different areas of the body. But it stays around here, and it just reminds the cells like what they can do when they're just doing their healthy, normal puffing cycle. So it is a spike in nitric oxide, but you also get that when you do that hum. It's a molecule in the body that, like I said, it's when the cells are just doing their healthy cellular life
function,
that's what's happening. And then there's unweighted tuning forks where you get to play with notes and different frequencies. And one that I always is a go-to for me because it's been studied is the interval between C, like the middle C on a piano, and G. And in terms of chakras, it's been kind of associated with the root and the throat. The C would be the root chakra, and the G would be the throat. But this frequency particularly brings us back to balance and spikes that nitric oxide, even just listening to it. So I always have my C and G unweighted. And then I have the tuning forks. And I usually because embodied's so wonderful, it's capped out at absolutely the most people would be 10, but I like to keep it at 8 people that I get to actually have them tuned before they leave the sound bath. I also like to make sure people are back in their bodies before they drive home safely, because it does make you feel relaxed, and we want to make you relaxed, but alert enough to have clarity.
And a small amount of people, you can actually get to
everyone.
I can
get to them. Yeah, exactly.
And use these instruments on every person.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you
show us?
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely.
Favorite. I use them
you
on
can even demonstrate
everybody.
on Jen.
Yes.
Or demonstrate on me. I've never
demonstrate
had
on
that.
Cindy.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So first I'll do just the C and G. So we'll do both, and you're going to just listen, and you're just going to take a deep breath in. So here we go. Good breathing, everybody.
Even that was delightful.
Yeah. Okay, and then I'm going to come over.
Okay.
And I'm going to just do the weighted tuning for it. Let's see if I can move this chair without making too much noise. Okay.
Don't worry about that.
Very
They'll
aware.
edit it out.
They'll edit it out. Yay. Okay, I'm coming over. So
right.
this is that same interval. So it's between
C and G.
the C and the G.
Okay.
And then I'll just do third eye, if that's okay. Top of head, and we'll try the heart. Okay, so you just take a deep breath in and just feel into that vibration. And we'll do top of head. And then the heart space. That's always a good one. Beautiful. You guys are such good breathers.
But even that just relaxes. Every person that I use is now, you taught me how to use these, and now I've been incorporating them into every Reiki session. And everybody has said that they make a huge difference.
They make a huge difference.
They do.
I mean, it also matters the practitioner, the intention.
And people like the explanation as to like, what is this and how does it work and why is it working?
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you explained it, because that's what I'm doing with people. And they're really finding that the adding a little bit of sound into a Reiki session has been very, very, very helpful.
It's such a natural way to add that energy, that working with that energy as well.
And I like that you also, I mean, this is part of it, but to say, okay, you're going to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, and I had this conversation with Jenna Rose yesterday about trust, that you have to trust in yourself. So I feel like when somebody comes over to me, I'm just like the perfect person to operate on.
Yes.
Because I'm like, okay, go ahead.
Do it.
Yeah. Like I want the experience.
Yeah.
So I feel like if people would just open up a little bit, like I could feel my heart just opening. So
I love that so much.
And Shannon's energy, if you can't tell from listening, is so calming. Just being in the space with you, you already feel just
and
so
you're like,
much calm.
Why not?
I know.
Give it a try.
Give it a try.
Things that can help you to navigate this life that can be, suffering for so many.
Exactly. We are so inundated with information.
Exactly.
I mean, more than ever in all of history, it feels like.
Yeah.
And this is about experience. It's about experiencing.
Going back inside. And
starting with you.
Yeah. And I
you
just
are
read
worthy
this
of
morning
that.
that people are not, like, when you really want to connect with someone, you want to go inside. I'm not looking at Shannon and her pulled back hair, her jewelry, her whatever. I'm like trying to connect with her inside. And I feel like this enables you to do that.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
I love it as a tool. And that's really
great.
what it is. Sound is a tool. And, the healing pice is like, what is healing?
Right.
What is the term? Mean? What does it mean?
What does it even mean?
I mean, for me, I am not the healer. I am the healing.
The conduit.
Yeah. And I am just creating like safe and brave space for people to take that risk, to allow to just be with themselves, to see themselves, to love themselves. That's also the world.
Yes, and heal themselves.
And what is healing? To me, it is living more fully, and it is loving more deeply.
100%.
And who doesn't want that?
Yeah. People want it. It's just hard.
It's
right?
It's not
it's
easy.
Hard. It's not easy.
And there's a lot of discomfort, right?
Yes, there
and like
is,
you
and
said,
healing. But a lot of it is letting go.
It's so funny that you just said that too, because I took a yoga class this morning, and the teacher said at the end, and just spread the love. And I said to her afterwards, Sandy Hall is her name, shout out, great teacher.
Yay.
And I said to her, you got to use that every time. I mean, it was organic the way it just came out, but wow, it was spread the love. Because if the 17 people in here go out and spread the love to one other person, now we've got 35 people, and spread it more.
Just start.
Absolutely.
So
well, you were tapping into her authenticity coming through. Because, someone else saying that whatever.
Because you're looking inside.
Yeah. Yeah. And so to hear that and feel that and say, and now you are spreading the love,
right?
Yeah,
spreading the love. I have to tell her.
All right, let's talk about your singing and songwriting career, because in addition to working with sound, you actually make songs and write songs and sing songs.
Totally, I sing songs. I would say my relationship to songwriting is, I don't like to admit this, but was extremely painful for me. It was a really conflicting, hard road. It's almost like I didn't have any of these tools that I now have. And it was like, I think sometimes I say this and I laugh, everything's said in jest, but I did things the hard way. And the hard way was like painstakingly singing soul songs. So the songwriting that I did was really for my own healing. It didn't feel like I had a choice. It felt like I needed to sing the words, to let them come from the darkness to the light. And it was a lot of ancestral healing and healing in my own life. And it felt really, really important and extremely uncomfortable.
As healing sometimes is.
As healing almost always is. And so I mean, I learned to play the guitar late. Everything I've done, I think there's a saying about like everything you've had to like let go has claw marks on it. So everything I've like in healing in that way, songwriting for me was that. And I'm so grateful now, because I think when you say like if you experience me as calm, it's because I went to all of those places and did that kind of healing.
You've done the hard work to heal.
Yeah.
So tell us about your albums. You have two?
So I have 2 albums. I have my most recent album is called Star Throwers, and that is more about the ancestral healing, and it really came from a place of singing. It's for caretakers and those who have done the hard work of love, the invisible work of love. So mothers, therapists, artists, poets, and and so that Star Throwers album has a lot of healing in there. And then the album before that is called A Different Kind of Progress. And it was really a homage to Rilke, Rumi. These are poets that I love. And that one was really, I'll say it, fun for me, because it's more vignettes about communing and imagining with the natural world and sort of living my questions out loud and singing my questions. And it was really, it holds a special place in my heart. But A Different Kind of Progress is doing that kind of soul work, doing that kind of the work of love. No one's really asking you to, but it feels like it's also making the world and keeping the world and holding us together.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
great. Yeah.
Let's say, I can't get to a class. Is there any tools or anything that I could do at home?
Totally.
Huh.
I mean, here, like,
share.
There's so many things you could do. You can create playlists. that are for you. A playlist when I'm feeling sad. You know, it's okay to listen to sad music when you're feeling sad because it moves the energy and it also connects you to, you're actually feeling less alone, right? Or a playlist to like empowering you if you're nervous. Just even noticing what songs you like. Like sometimes we don't take the time to do it. I rarely listen to music. I love music. But if I'm not being intentional,
right,
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So a playlist is one way, listening to the music you like, taking time out in nature, listening to the bird song. This is a known fact that we feel calmer when we listen to bird song. It lets us know we're safe. Also, the birds are singing to you. They're absolutely singing to you because they're not necessarily singing when they don't see you. They're singing because they're like telling their other bird friends, someone's around. So listening to the ocean, you know, going to that place where you can listen in nature and feeling into your body there. I'm going to say again, the audible intentional sigh to release tension, the hum, practicing that, you know, it's also your out breath is longer when you do that. You know, one way to say it is vocal toning, but it's a hum. It's a hum. Any of those things work and are beautiful tools in using sound for deep listening or fully expressing. Speaking your truth. Singing songs in the shower or the car. You know, all of these things are sound healing.
Yep. So it's helpful to know that in case, you know, somebody's like, well, I can't get to a class. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But I can work on
it. It's a good start.
It's a
good start.
Great start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have a takeaway for our listeners?
I would say this practice of deep listening, of taking time out to listen to yourself, and I started to say it before, like you are worthy of that. Like your inner world is worthy of that deep listening, you know? And that's where self-acceptance and self-love starts. It starts with us really noticing, taking care of ourselves, learning about how our body reacts and allowing some space for that. And if it means allowing space in the listening to music or the being in nature or the going to a sound bath, whatever works for you, find those things. Be curious enough to find those things that allow for space in your life.
Yeah, because we're worth self-care.
Yeah.
That's really what it's about.
Yeah.
But, okay, so as we're rolling into the last, flying by.
I know.
If somebody is hearing or watching and says, oh my gosh, I need to get to her. How can people find you? How can someone find your music?
Yeah,
where can people find
you?
So
you can find me on the internets. You can find me, I have a website, which makes me real.
That's what we felt like too.
What's your website? What's your website?
My website is Song and Sound Healing.
Okay.
Yeah, you could also type in shannonhawley.com and it'll come up. But Song and Sound Healing. And the reason why Song and Sound Healing is like, I think we all have this own unique song to sing. I'm using it as a metaphor here that wants to come through us. So we are not only the song, but we are the singing of it. It's nice to know the song, but you also have to sing it. So that aligned action. And then the healing piece is, like I said, you know, living more fully, loving more deeply. Who doesn't want that? So Song and Sound Healing is the way to find me. I love working at Embodied Physical Therapy, which is like creating this magical, wonderful community of truly supportive people. Dr. Emily Bessemer, I cannot say enough good things about her.
She was on our podcast.
She
If you haven't seen that episode, please go back and watch it.
She is magical. She is the real deal, and she is doing it. And she's just imagining this and creating this safe space for people to start to like find their voices, use their voices, practice deep listening, rest. Like enough to just be. I mean, there's all types of yoga classes and yoga teacher trainings. And of course, she's a pelvic floor physical therapist and energy worker.
So you're teaching all your sound bath classes are only there. So sound bath
is there, and it is the first and last Mondays of the month. That's community care. That's group work. I also do individual sessions, sound therapy sessions, and that can look like anything. I meet the client where they're at, and we go from there. That's all booked through my website. But if you go on Embodied Physical Therapy's website, you can also see all of the classes. And I do a number of different classes. I also teach Kundalini Yoga regularly on Wednesday mornings at 10:30 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. So we have a final questions. We ask this to all the guests. How do you view failure? Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink. Just tell us.
I'm just like, the first thing that came to my mind is like, is there such a thing anymore? I mean, I know this is, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
I love it.
Such a great opportunity to learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Noticing where my self-judgment is. What does it even mean?
Just
and
about
why?
every person that came on here said the same thing.
Yeah,
it's either
in something.
we're picking these people.
Well, you're
you know.
finding your people.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are.
Thank you.
So what are your 3 most important strengths? Once again, just go with your gut.
Oh, I'm going to say my sensitivity to sound and listening, my willingness and courage to seeing not failure, but challenging moments as opportunities, and my stubbornness to want to connect to spirit, to myself, to others.
Yeah, that keeps you going. That keeps you persistent and consistent.
Tenacious.
Yes,
Yeah.
tenacious.
Yeah, I want to
Let's
feel
use that
alive.
word.
I want to be in a world where we all are feeling our aliveness.
Mm-hmm.
And what's
Yeah.
going well in your life? I mean, like your spirit is obvious. I mean, like your energy is
just-
so great. So
thank you
obviously,
so much.
everything's going
Cindy
well.
and I are going to have like a very calm day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yay! Well,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, you're attracting that, right?
Yes, we
You're
are.
magnetic in that way. So thank you for having me. It's just been talking about the things I love. It's so nice.
So what's going well for you?
Yeah, what's going well? All the things. All the things are going well. The more presence I can have in my life, the more I get to have to really experience all the different emotions and all the different sensations. And so family, I practice that first with family, connecting with community, and most importantly, I think like really leaning into creativity and what it really means to be my authentic self in the world.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what do you think? What's coming next?
What's
You're doing
coming
all
next?
These wonderful things. What's next for
Afraid
you?
to say it. What's coming next? I think there's some more. I've been doing a lot of work with other people and really supporting other people's creativity and authenticity in the world. And I think there's probably some more. I have to be brave and practice what I preach. And there's probably some more songs coming
Good.
through. And
Good.
I've been working on this thing called a Night of Grief and Praise. And it's part performance art, part me talking about singing my songs and then reading personal essays around how they came about, and part community art project. That's sort of a surprise at the end. So integrating all of that. There's certain evolutions of it that I'm still working on.
All
That's
right.
great.
Well,
Yeah.
now you said it on the air, so it's
know.
going to
I
have
was-
to happen.
I almost
Has to
immediately
happen.
was wishing
Put
I
it out
was.
in the universe to make it real.
All right, so this is from Jen and my book. So is there something you want to change? It's a yes or no in your life.
Oh, she's thinking.
I know.
No.
All right.
Okay.
So you're the, maybe
What was
it's
the
a four?
majority? We've got 3 or 4
The majority of
people.
people,
It's
yeah.
all semantics.
Well, it is. So what usually happens is people say yes, then we say, what's holding you back? And, how could you move yourself forward? But
Yeah.
Yes.
I say I'm not here to prove. I'm here to improve. I think that's why just the change is more like, it's more of an embrace, fuller embrace.
I love that. That's so
Of
great.
what
that
is.
is good.
Yeah.
Embrace.
Let's hope I can live
Growth.
into that.
Embrace.
Yeah.
So
You should
Well,
write that down.
we
Okay,
are
I'm going to.
running out of time. This has been
Yeah.
such a good episode. And if you've listened or watched, you can feel just the calmness that Shannon projects. So hopefully you'll be able to get to a Soundbath class or something that she's doing sometime soon. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
And
so
thank you,
much.
our listeners and viewers. We will be back again for another episode. And as always, Cindy has our words of wisdom.
Yeah, so remember to pause, breathe, and respond instead of react. And always, always do hard things. And Shannon here is a prime example of doing hard things.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.